And back to you, Dr. Garcia.
Good morning, everybody, staff and committee members. First, I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 11:19. I apologize for the late start, but we have a lot of important business to take care of, so it was really important that we got this information before the committee. So if we can call a roll call vote to establish our quorum, Madam Moderator.
And I believe AEO Randy Love will call the roll. Is that right?
Excuse me, I can do that. Dr. Garcia?
Present.
Dr. Chawla is absent, and Dr. Ross?
Present.
All right, we have 2 of 3 accounted for, and that gives us a quorum.
Excellent. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to open up for public comment for items that are not listed on the agenda.
And we are opening the Q&A feature of WebEx to facilitate public comment. You will see a question mark icon appear at the lower right of your screen. The other option to make a comment is to raise your hand by clicking on the hand icon. Are there any comments for items that do not appear on the agenda? And I do not see any requests for public comment. Shall I close that feature?
Yeah, thank you, Madam
You're
Moderator.
welcome.
Okay, item number 4 on our agenda is discussion and possible action on continuing education course approval requests. So at this point, I'd like to offer this up to our committee to discuss these in items. So example would be 4A1 and 2. And if there are any discrepancies within any of those submitted CEs, if we can discuss those separately. And that way we can approve in bulk the CEs that were submitted. Does that sound okay, Dr. Ross? So I'd like to open up discussion for item 4, which is Kaiser Permanente items A1 and 2. Any items of those two that have any discrepancies or any questions about the CEs submitted? Dr. Ross?
I don't have any issues with either of these CE courses.
Neither did I. I felt they both were in compliance and they were excellent CEs. So I'll accept a motion for item 4A1 and 2 to accept them as submitted.
And I'll motion.
Okay, and I second that motion. We need a roll call vote, or should we just, are we good with that?
As I
believe that
recall. Thank you,
I'm
Randy.
sorry. Yes, we should take public comment before we do a roll call vote. Thank you.
Good, thank you. So let's do that. Open for public comment for items 4A1 and 2.
And we've opened up the WebEx Q&A feature to facilitate public comment. If you'd like to comment on these 2 courses, you may type the word comment in the text box and click send or raise your hand by clicking on the hand icon. And I do not see any requests for public comment. Shall I close the Q&A?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
If we can have a roll call vote for item 4A1 and 2.
Thank you. So I have a motion to adopt or accept both of those courses, and we'll do a roll call vote. So Dr. Garcia?
I vote aye.
And Dr. Chawla is absent. Dr. Ross?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to item 5, and that has several subsections: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, and those are all under item 5. So, Dr. Ross, have you been able to review those CE submissions?
Yeah, I have been able to review them. So far, I don't have any issue with the presented CEs in this section.
And neither did I. They all seem to, again, fit the categories requested. The PowerPoints were long enough, and I think all the information presented was appropriate. So at this time, I would accept a motion to approve them all.
And I'll motion.
I will second, and then we can open up for public comment.
Thank you. And if you have a comment on the courses discussed in agenda item 5, please either click on the question mark icon, type comment in the text box and click send, or you may request a public comment by raising your hand by clicking on the hand icon. And I do not see any requests for public comment. I will close that Q&A feature.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we'll move on to agenda item number 6. That includes A, B.
Wait.
Yes, I'm sorry.
First, we need to do a roll call vote for item number 5.
Yep, roger that. Okay.
So we have a motion and a second. So Dr. Garcia, what is your vote?
I vote aye.
And Dr. Chawla is absent. Dr. Ross?
I vote aye.
Thank you. The motion passes.
And we'll move on to agenda item number 6. That includes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, and some subsections of those as well. Dr. Ross, any comments? Any discrepancies?
No, I had a chance to review also the items in this section, and I didn't have any issue with the presented material.
Okay, and neither did I. So I'll accept a motion to accept all CE and item number 6 as approved.
And I'll motion.
And I'll second that. And if we can open up for public comment.
Certainly, we've opened for public comment. If anyone has any discussion of courses listed in agenda item 6, you may look for the question mark icon, type the word comment in the text box and click send, or raise your hand by clicking on the hand raise icon. And I do not see any requests for public comment at this time. Shall I close that feature?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion to approve the items under agenda item 6. Dr. Garcia?
I vote aye.
And Dr. Chawla is absent. Dr. Ross?
And I vote aye.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Thank you. And we'll move on to agenda item number 7, future agenda items. Dr. Ross, if you have any items that you would like to bring up or have placed on our next agenda, this would be the appropriate time.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Garcia. I actually do have a couple of items that I would like to present that I think would be kind of in this committee's wheelhouse. The first one was actually an agenda item that I had recommended come before the board at the end of our last general board meeting. And this is concerning the ARBO OE tracker system. So a couple of things. We had briefly discussed at the end of our last board meeting this idea of looking further into the possibility of being able to link the ARBO OE tracker system with our Breeze system that we use here in the state of California for monitoring CE. So I think from my understanding in our discussion at the end of the last board meeting, kind of our next step in this process would be setting up a meeting with the Breeze IT folks here to understand what our next steps would be to kind of look further into that connection with the ARBO OE tracker system. And then and the next item that I wanted to bring before the board was also another item that we had discussed at the end of our last board meeting, which this was actually based on the presentation that we received from a professor at the California Berkeley Optometry School, Dr. Ruth Shogi. And she had made a recommendation that the board look further into allowing DEIB CE, and for it to actually be a requirement for optometrists in the state of California to complete their CE requirements for licensure. It sounds like other states are beginning to adopt this requirement in their own CE requirements. I believe she had referenced one other state that currently requires 1 hour of continuing education per 2-year referral cycle. So I would like to open a discussion with this committee on the logistics of perhaps also making a requirement for DEIB CE for licensees in our state.
Thank you,
And
Dr.
those are
Ross.
my,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. Those are my only items to add for future consideration.
Okay, we have 2 good items. Staff, any questions on those about putting those on our next agenda? Any concerns?
No, I have notes on both. Our next committee meeting is November 11th. So I'm not sure if logistically I'll be able to get enough for those things for to be on the November agenda. It might be something that we look into early next year, but I will do my best to get them for you as quickly as possible.
Thank you, thank you. Is that okay, Dr. Ross?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I don't have any future agenda items to request. So at this point, I just wanted to thank the staff for putting this meeting together. I think the communication was really good for us on the committee and getting the information and giving us enough time to review it. There was a lot of information to review. The Cs were excellent. I really enjoyed going through them because I feel like I learned a lot. I wish I could get CE for them, but they're excellent. And Christina, thank you again for putting together such an excellent package. It was really easy to review these CEs. They were in order. All the documents were there. It was very clear whether the applicant was able to submit all the information or not, and it makes it just a lot smoother for us to review. So thank you, Christina.
And shall I open for public comment on suggested topics for future agendas?
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. I've opened up the Q&A feature. If anyone has a suggestion for a topic for a future agenda, you may look for the question mark icon, type the word comment and click send, or raise your hand by clicking on the hand icon. I see no requests for public comment. Did you want to loop back to agenda item 3, approval of the minutes?
Yes, please. Yeah, so let's loop back to item 3, discussion possible approval of meeting minutes. Dr. Ross, did you have a chance to review those? If so, I'll accept a motion to accept them as written, or if you have any corrections.
No, I did have a chance to review the minutes and I don't have any corrections, so I'll go ahead and motion.
Okay, and I will second that. Open public comment for that.
Exactly. We've got the Q&A open. If anyone has any comments on the minutes, you may look for the question mark icon or raise your hand by clicking the hand icon. And I see no requests for comment on the minutes. Shall I close the Q&A?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll take a roll call vote on the March meeting minutes. Dr. Garcia,
I vote aye.
Dr. Chawla is absent. Dr. Ross,
Aye.
thank you. The motion passes.
Excellent. So that brings us to item number 8, which is adjournment. I just want to thank Madam Moderator and Randy for keeping me straight on this meeting. I know I skipped a couple things, but I appreciate your attention to detail. And I would accept a motion to adjourn unless staff has anything else they would like to present.
We do not, and I don't believe, do you need an emotion to adjourn? I don't think you do.
Oh, okay.
I'm not positive though.
Yeah, Dr. Rossi, do you have anything else before we adjourn?
No, I guess the last thing I know, we had mentioned that our next meeting will be November 11th. Did we have a time set for that meeting?
We do not. Is there a time that works best for you? Do you want to talk about that now, since we've got two of you online?
Yeah, in general, earlier the better is for me. But again, I'm fairly flexible on Fridays, so
Okay.
whatever works for Dr. Ross and Dr. Chawla.
Yeah, I think the key with my schedule is just knowing well in advance what the
Mhm.
time is going to be to block the schedule appropriately. I think
Awesome.
either first thing in the morning or at the end of the clinic schedule going into lunchtime works for me.
Would a 9:30 start be too early for either of you?
That works for me.
9:30 might be a little bit challenging for me because we kind of start right at 8 o'clock, so that's kind of
Okay.
right in the middle of things.
Right. So like a 10 or 10:30 would be better.
10:30 would be better, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I will then, I think that we can go ahead and try for 10:30 for the next meeting. And I will send out an email later today to kind of get that verification. And then we'll get it on the schedule so that we're all prepared for November.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you,
Awesome.
Randy. Thank you very much. So we'll adjourn until November 11th, and we'll just wait for more correspondence on the time certain
Awesome.
as we get a
Thank
little
you.
closer. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.